The New York Liberty brought out the brooms in Game 2 of their opening round series against the Atlanta Dream. 91-82 victory here, and they get the sweep. Dexter Henry here, joined by Myles, Ehrlich, the great beat reporter for Winsider. Myles, this was a tremendous win. The Liberty move on. They didn't play with their food like we talked about. They took care of business, and it started with Sabrina Ionescu, a 36-piece, people, to go along with 9 dimes. How impressive was she offensively in this game?
I mean, this might be the best game of her WNBA career. Sab was everything the Liberty needed tonight. She hit big shot after big shot, especially in that second half. She propelled them back, propelled them into the lead, and then just hit those daggers whenever they needed. And yeah, 36 points. To hear her in Barclays, which was loud tonight, those MVP chants when she stepped to the line late, that was just awesome. Had to be a great feeling for her.
It was a great feeling, and a great feeling for the fans. She absolutely played like an MVP tonight. But it wasn't just her. The performance by Jonquel Jones, dominant inside, that was also very impressive. 20 and 13, a double-double, as she was a little quiet offensively in Game 1, but she showed out here in Game 2. What did you like from JJ tonight?
What I love from JJ actually is that she sought out that ball and she made her own points. She had 6 of her 13 rebounds were on the offensive glass, putbacks after putbacks after putbacks. I just love to see that version of JJ, right? The one who says, I'm going to get the ball if I'm not getting the touches in the paint, because Atlanta was really balling tonight. They did not want to go home. They wanted to go back to Atlanta for a Game 3, but JJ made sure that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, she made sure it wasn't going to happen, and you had to like the resiliency you saw. Atlanta came out. This was not an easy game. This was not as comfortable as it was for the Liberty in Game 1, but the Liberty were resilient and responded. I wanted to talk to you about another player, and that's Leonie Fiebich. We talked about her after Game 1. She gets inserted into the starting lineup. Now, when people look at the box score, they're going to see 9 points, not a huge factor in terms of what you would think in terms of counting stats offensively, but she's been a huge factor for this Liberty team all season long, and you liked how she played in the starting lineup tonight, even though she struggled for a bit with 4 fouls. You liked how she played tonight, correct?
Yeah, the Liberty are just a better team when Leonie Fiebich is on the floor. They're their most switchable team, and I think that's what doesn't always come through on the box score. She had 9 points on only 4 shots, which is pretty amazing, but in just 21 minutes of play, she was a team best plus 18. They were just so much stronger when she was on the floor. She was blowing up actions at the top, and yeah, the foul trouble is a rare thing that we've seen from her. That was kind of earlier in the season, but every time she was there, the Liberty would either come back from a big deficit or extend the lead like we saw in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, we saw that, and I think once you get a win like this, you get a sweep, you're moving on to round 2. A lot of the questions, Myles, is what did you learn from this round 1 series? What can you take into round 2? So when you look at this Liberty team, they didn't play with their food like we talked about. They took care of business. Now they're going to round 2. What do you think they learned from this series, and what can they take and then improve upon in round 2?
So I think the most impressive thing across both of these games is the help defense. That, I think, is what we've seen for a majority of the season, but it slipped away in the last couple of weeks, and that's where they stumbled for the first time. And although this was not her best scoring night, Brianna Stewart, as a weak side defender, as someone who could just roam and just help and help and help, that's huge for the Liberty. And getting that consistently springs them the other way, and that's when they get off to that advantage. That's when they can play into mismatches. That's when they can play downhill. So I think that they learned tonight. They were just 4 of 17 shooting from 3 in the first half, and that is the kind of thing that last year could have sunk this team. But they learned they just stay with what works for them, get that ball side to side, get that ball in transition and moving, and then they're going to be able to hang with anybody.
Yeah, it's going to be able to see, interesting to see, I should say, what they will be able to do in the next round. We do not know at the time of recording this who they will play. Could be the Aces, could be the Storm. The one thing we do know is Liberty will be playing on Sunday. We do know that. We will see what happens as they move on to round 2, as Liberty continue their quest to win their first ever WNBA championship. That is it from here at the Barclays Center, with the Liberty, as I said, they break out the brooms. 91-82 is the victory over the Dream, and they're moving on to round 2. That is Myles Ehrlich. I'm Dexter Henry signing off from the Barclays Center.